Okay guys, welcome to April's Lesser Game of the Month. We're going to go back to the old Game Boy. As a few of you who know me personally might know, I'm a big fan of role-playing games. And I like the portable ones as well, and I think this one is awesome. This game was also released on the Super Nintendo. Over in Japan, unfortunately not over here. However, you can get a translated version if you want to play it on a ROM. But this game on the Game Boy was frickin' awesome. So what am I talking about here? How about Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on Game Boy? Which is, in my opinion, really cool. Because they managed to take Dragon Warrior, the first two NES versions, and pop them on a Game Boy cart. Which, I'm a big fan of the second Dragon Warrior game, and the first one holds special memories for me because it's like the third NES game I ever owned. So I played the heck out of it as a kid and really enjoyed it. So, as an adult, I never even knew that you could get Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on Game Boy until I got into game collecting as an adult. I found the cart, it's like, holy crap, we gotta buy that. And I believe that Dragon Warrior 3 was also available in a standalone cart for Game Boy as well. So, let's pop it into the Super Game Boy and check it out. Gotta love Enix back when it was actually still really Enix and not Square Enix as well. Brought to you by a bunch of Japanese guys. Copyright 2000 by a bunch of people. Where's the rest of the title? You know. Da 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 da. Okay, whatever. Let's load up my personal fave. There's the rest of it! Alright. It's a changed title screen, but terribly sorry, but Journal 1 is gone. See what happens whenever you don't upgrade your batteries, take apart your old Game Boy carts and solder in a new battery. Yeah, I obviously gotta change the battery. We've got only 4 letters for the name, which is too bad, but hey, whatever. So, how do we put Lethco into 4 digits? I don't know. L... H... C... Oh. Screw it, good enough, let's play. Text speed, really frickin' fast. And ooh, it starts out with a cutscene this time. Looks like the dragon's chowing down in the castle. Looks like the dragons grabbed the, what was that, the Moonstone? And finally we get a familiar sprite, the skeleton sprite, going in, and some Drakkies in the background. And the dragon takes off. So as you guys can see, it's not a carbon copy of the original NES version. They did take some time to enhance and update it. And ooh, nice background too. It does take advantage of the Super Game Boy. You get the nice castle-looking background. But here we have the king. Welcome in the distant past, the gods gave Lodo the Orb of Light. With it, he drove away the monsters that lay siege to the land. But Draco Lord, evil incarnate, emerged from nowhere and sealed the sacred orb in darkness. Don't that suck? Without it, darkness will swallow the world. Extinction will soon befall us all. Brave... That's the only way I can pronounce it. It's supposed to be Lethco, but like I said, we're limited to 4 digits, and I like that better. So if we see that from now on, it will be Brave... We implore you to defeat Draco Lord and recover the light. Now wait a second, Draco Lord gets a lot more letters than his name and I do. That's BS. Take with you what you find in the chest, they should help your quest. Blah 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 blah. Thank you and leave Brave... Another enhancement that you don't see is that you don't have to go through a menu system just to open a treasure chest. A huge improvement. Opened the chest, and what's this? The key? Obtained the key. That's awesome. And then once again, you don't have to walk up to someone and select the talk command. You can just go in and talk to people. So already, it's a much better play than the original NES version. Yeah, it may not be in full color, but it still looks fine. Up there's a door. See, you don't have to hit the door command. You just hit the button and it opens. Walk over stairs, you automatically go down instead of having to hit the stair command. So overall, I mean, it's a great enhancement over the NES original. And then whenever you leave an area, the background changes. I really like that feature. And the overworld is a lot more polished this time around. We already run into a slime. Hammer it through real quick. Now, I almost prefer the music in this version over the NES version too. So the graphics got a bit of an update. You go into town, the background on the Super Game Boy switches over to a town version. So let's go shopping. There's also, let's see, what do I usually start out with? Well, the leather shield, I don't believe was actually original in the town in the NES version. So it's nice that you don't have to jump all over the place, but, let's start out with the club. Let's see what we got left here. Get some cloth armor. And then we head on out. And the town is basically designed the same way. However, the graphics are a little bit more polished, and I can't believe I'm saying that an original Game Boy game has been polished over an NES game. But overall, this looks a million times better. Now the battle sounds a little annoying. Up, we have a red slime coming at us now. I also like how it fades to white instead of the black. That's an interesting design choice. Now, overall, I feel they did an excellent job with this ported version. The only thing I don't like is the music does seem to cut out a bit from time to time. But other than that, it looks great. Yep, we got promoted to level 2 already. It does seem that you level up a bit faster in this version. It's a lot quicker moving than the NES version was. To me, the NES version moved god-awful slow. But this version seems to move along quite a bit faster. So, for any of you guys that like to do some old school questing, I really recommend picking up Dragon Warrior Parts 1 and 2 for Game Boy. It's a little expensive for a Game Boy game if you pick it up used anymore. I think I paid $8 or $9 for my copy. But overall, I think it's worth it, because these two games are really classic games, and I feel like this is really the best way to play them, unless you go out and get the translated Super Nintendo ROM, which had Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on it. So that's going to be it for Lesser Game of the Month, because it does get boring to just sit and watch someone else playing a role-playing game. But if you're into role-playing games, check them out. To be honest, it's the reason why I haven't made any role-playing games my Game of the Month. They're kind of boring just to sit and watch, especially the beginning. But like I said, this version does seem to move a bit faster, and I like it. One more thing that's kind of interesting before we go. If you look in the corner up here, notice there's a cross on screen. Usually Nintendo changed out the crosses and conversions and replaced them with clinics. It's if we head to the clinic over here. There's actually no sign or anything for it. However, for some reason, the actual cross in-game is still gone, but they put it in the background on the NES version, which I found interesting. But anyway, that's the end of this feature. We will see you for the next Lesser Game of the Month.